Okay. Are you looking for input on that, or?
For option 3, we're just going to vote. Right? Option 3 would be double team. So this would be against policy.
Okay, so we're in topic 0 right now. In the if you're still in the CCC board recruitment document,
No, I'm not. I'm
to the main document, right? Tab topic 0.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
So
for me, for the buddy team work session, I think it's pretty clear that we could break out into doing CCC work, and other work. I don't know, taxes or whatever. Or I guess we could do two. We could both have 2 buddy teams of CCC work.
What's the difference between that and the double team?
The double teams just against policy would be CCC work the same, but we would have all 4 of us together, including off, right?
So just so I understand this, the reason it's against policy is because usually if you're teaming up, each team takes a different topic, and this would be us pounding at the same one, right?
No, it's just like buddy team work sessions are 2 to 3 people. So the maximum number of people you can have in a buddy team work session is 3 people. So when you have 4 people or more, that becomes a double team.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Is a triple team, and then you basically have full team. So a main session is like up to 10, 15 people.
Got it.
Okay, yeah. Plus, like it's not it's just a number of people, but plus like that Carol email, for example, the one that you worked on, it's not a great use of time. 4 people reviewing the same email,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
I agree. Like even if we do 2 teams, then I would imagine even if we're all both working on CCC, then we would take 2 of us would do one topic and somebody else is working on something else just to get these deadlines met. Otherwise it's like redundant.
Okay. Yeah. But the policy is more that but buddy teams are 2 people.
Got it.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure it's really clear that the reason we have policies is not that we're not allowed to break them. It's perfectly fine to break policies. A 5-second pause. Perfectly fine to break policies. The goal of the policies is that when you break a policy, you do it for a reason, right? There's because what happens with the buddy team work sessions is that you have 4 or 5 people on a call, and like no work gets done because you can't really do work with 5 people, right?
Right.
So the policy is there for a reason. If there's a reason to have all 5 people together, it's perfectly fine. You just do it intentionally, right?
Right.
So anyways, either of these are fine options. Does everyone understand option 2 and option 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So
can I just add about the policy thing? Because
please
one other word that is also common. It's yes, there's policy, but policy sounds like law, like this is the law or something like that. In companies and other orgs I've worked with, they just call it best practices, as well too. But we can totally break them. Or flex them. Breaking the law sounds so serious, but being flexible with best practices or something like that in terms of terminology. But when we do say policy, we just mean in essence is best practices, and they get broken all the time. And then we track when we break them, and then maybe they are not the best policy, and we should be the policy should be something else. So the policy tracking is about training, and then the whole team decides we hate this policy, we love this policy, we don't like this, and policies are
policies
there.
Can change.
They're living documents in this company. I've noticed that. That's nice.
And under policies, there's 2 categories. There's protocols, which are required,
regulation, right?
Yeah, and then guidelines are optional, right?
Okay, so regulations and guidelines, basically protocol and guidelines, which
regulations
best practices. Okay.
So, is that everything you need to say, Mel?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for the clarification, Mel.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to just talk about option 1 real quick. Is that all right?
Right, sure.
So for me, the main thing for option 1 would be, in general weekly check-in.
Yeah.
Always good, but then also the decision and proposal on our cutoff, right? We wanted to try to get that cutoff and timeline.
Okay, got it.
Timeline for the umbrella showcase website. So that's the only thing I think it's. I mean, obviously there's not a lot of people here, so it might be better to do that next week. But again, next week is another week. They can always vote online or whatever. So I think we'd be fine moving forward with that. So those are 3 options that we have.
Okay.
Time for breath.
All right, quick breath. Inhaling and exhale. And inhaling together. And exhale and relax.
Great.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and like vote on these 3 and then see what option we get and then just go from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just make a column here for all of us. So we have Jay, Mel, Stacy, Moth. We can just vote on each of these. I'm gonna vote option 1, maybe like a 7. Option 2, I'm like a 7. Something with either one, I guess. And then option 3, I am like a 6.5. So if you can vote verbally, that would be great. Who wants to go next?
I can. So, I mean, I guess I'm probably going to go along your same guidelines, but I'll just stress that I think that probably 2 and 3 are going to be more productive. Does that make sense? And I don't know why I can't. Mel, did you type that? Or?
I mean, production is good to produce
yes.
results, but sometimes it's also good to have agreement on the big picture too,
Right.
So that we know what we're working towards. But anyways, I'm fine just taking the day and focusing on work and canceling the main session. And again, it's not even against policy to cancel the main session. The whole goal of the main session is to focus on the priority. If we all agree that the priority is to do a work session, that is the priority.
Yeah.
And that is the goal. So the main session is completely optional.
I think that the buddy team work session would be great, and I would really like to do that. That's just.
So Stacey, do you want to vote here?
Yeah, I can't seem to edit the sheet. I don't know why.
If you can vote verbally, we can write it in.
Okay, so I'm going to go with 6.5 on option 1, 7 on option 2, and 6.5 on option 3.
All right, so option 1 for the main session still is the top priority. It has a 6.7. And then number 2 is the buddy. Option 2 is buddy.
Right.
So just because we do a main session doesn't mean we can't also focus on CCC for the entire main session. We just might try to really get into the nitty gritty on the details of the work and just assign that to be done afterwards. But we can get, for example, we could start the 2-pager and then assign that to be done, do 10 minutes now and then go on to the next thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So proposal would be basically option 1 to continue to do the main session. I don't know if we have agreement on that, but basically that's
time to pause.
So 5-second pause. Are there any questions about the proposal to just focus on option 1?
No.
Main session. Any questions? No. Any concerns?
I would like to. I wanted to point out. I think I committed to 1.5 to 2 hours on the main meeting day. I probably need confirmation on that, but it looks like today I really am going to be available till maybe 4:40 the max. It's a Thursday, so I didn't realize this, but I have to drive somebody somewhere before 5 p.m. So with that said, I would really like it if we are able to do some buddy teamwork session while I'm here, because then I can start something and maybe get it finished before the weekend so that we are able to meet some of our goals and deadlines. And so in my mind anyway, the work session might be a little more productive in my use of my time, because as soon as I come back tonight, if you guys are still meeting, I'm going to call in. But if not, I can certainly.
So you have an hour, is that right? You have 1 hour, right?
Correct, from now.
So I mean, if we go into the main session, we can always stop the main session at any time and split up into buddy teams, right? And change into a work session. That's perfectly fine. 1 hour is not a lot of time, so I don't know if that will happen within that hour, but
right. But if we are able to do even an overview, I could maybe get something done by tomorrow for you, depending. So it's just a thought. So whatever, however you think our time is best used, I'm going to go with it.
Okay, well, anyway, it's just getting agreement as a team. So, so again, the option that got the most votes under our policy, we just vote on that one,
General.
and that is that we just do the main session, which means we would stop, do our check-ins, get clarity on our focus on our topics, which obviously is going to include CCC, and then we would get focused on the topics with clear desired outcomes. That would be the next step if we approve this. If we don't approve this, we would automatically go to option 2 and try to get agreement on that. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So main session. Any questions about? Any concerns? No concerns. All right. Are there any objections?
No.
No
Okay.
objection.
Okay, so I think we have consensus here. Let's just go ahead and do the main session, and then we can spend as much time as we want to focusing on
Yeah.
CCC. Okay, so what?
I just want to add that, like Stacey, when we vote, this is basically with a lot of group decisions. Like, it is voting. It's not enough just to give a qualitative, like, I really want this, or I want that, or like, oh, I prefer this. It's like the number system kind of dictates that. So like with everything, and so it's just I see that you're getting used to it. Okay.
Time to stretch.
All right, so we're gonna do a 30-second stretch, and we come back from the 30-second stretch.
Time to stretch.
Let's get set up and get their positions, and then we're gonna check in. All right, so 30-second stretch. Remember to see it. All right, so in terms of our setup, I just want to make sure we confirm our attendance. So Moth was late about 20 minutes. So it looks like we now have Alberto, who was late about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we can just kind of skip to the positions. I can help with facilitation. Does anyone want to help with?
I can do note keeping.
Alberto can help with note taking.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to help with anything else? I'm doing some of the video. If anyone wants help with the.
Can do what? All priority master.
Okay, Alberto. All right. Anyways, that should get us started. And I'm always helping out with the policies.
Yeah.
So let's jump.
I can do storytelling.
Moth's going to do storytelling. Excellent.
Yeah, I can do storytelling. Yeah.
So the storytelling happens afterwards. You tell a story of what happened. You update the public on what happened. All right. So second, I'm going to give myself a 0.5. And I have been working on some of the CCC work, which we were just talking about. I've been working on the evaluation and some of our policies, and the contentious situations. I've also been working on some of the finances and the payrolls, et cetera. Check. Who would like to check in next?
I guess okay.
Yes, can.
You can go, Moth. Yeah.
I'm at 2.6. They've been working on just a minute.
I might not see.
Are you
Working
there?
on status updates. Yeah, the status updates, tactical ops, and also budget setup. Check.
Who would like to check in next?
I'll go next. I'm glad to see Alberto, you're on the call, and Moth, you too, and that we're doing a team session, doing the check-ins. And Stacey, you're here. I've been working on CCC stuff. I think it's a priority. I'm very concerned that it's behind schedule. I had the March 20th deadline, but Alberto, great work creating a lot of the drafts. Stacey and I, at the beginning of the call, we started at 3 our time, went over the list, the status, and what needs to be done. And my focus is really getting the website done at some point in the next, sometime later today. if not in the main session, but later on with Stacy in a buddy session, so we can get it get as close to the deadline as possible. So we linked the recruitment round sheet, and so me and Stacy are at least on the same page with that today. So check. Oh, and I'm a 7.
Okay.
Great. Stacy, Alberto, who would like to go next?
Stacy, you want to go next?
I can go next. That's fine. I'm going to give it a 6.5. And as you know, I worked on that draft letter, and I guess that has been completed. So that's done for the CCC after interest. And then, as Mel said, we're going to potentially break off into buddies and finish working on the CCC board step. So I'm looking forward to that and continuing to meet our goals.
Alberto?
Yeah. I'm a 1.7. I've been working on the some of the payroll issues we had yesterday, and I updated the accounting support. Hopefully, we can get over from PayStop. Check. Looking forward to this session, especially to finalize the cutoff for the pipeline.
All right. So is there anyone else here that needs to check in? I don't believe so. I think we got everybody. Cool. All right. So then that brings us to our focus and topics. I think there's 3 clear focus and topics that we want to add. One is the CCC setup and organizing. Maybe the CCC feature, CCC invitations, etc. So I think there's a bunch of CCC stuff we could focus on. Then we have the accounting upfront
Status.
and then we have the cutoff proposal.
Time for breath.
Okay, quick breath, inhaling. And inhale together. And relax. All right. So any other topics that anyone wants to propose? So for me, the desired outcomes for CCC setup and organizing is to make sure we know our deadline, our next steps, priorities, and who is doing what by when, right? So for me, just like kind of going over the CCC organizing spreadsheet and the whole priorities list and getting it all clear and organized would be good. The 2-pager would be like spending 10 minutes to just get the 2-pager started quickly. So that board on the CC invitation would be kind of do a quick review or editing on details of one or two of our invitation emails / posts, etc. So I think all of those are pretty good, but they do have different desired outcomes as slightly different topics. So I'll put 10 to 15 minutes on each of these. So we could easily spend 45 minutes on CCC.
Okay.
Are there any other desired outcomes related to CCC that I'm missing? Remember, desired outcomes are different than the topic.
It covers it for me.
Yeah, so I saw your message, Jay, about the website we want to do for recruitment.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't worked on that yet, so I don't know if it's really ready for reviewing.
Me too.
But do you think that there needs to be a decision? I think it's fine to just do it, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean,
until we have something to look at, it's kind of hard to do a decision because everything that we're working on is going to go into this website, this Google site. So working on every detail of it is already doing the web. There's no difference really because it's going to be just copying and pasting all the text and the verbiage and information. It's all the same stuff, right? And everything's going to be added into the Google site.
Okay.
All right. So accounting upfront pay stop. So this is basically, we want to make sure we know the status and whether or not we're on upfront pay stop and kind of get this addressed. This could be pretty quick. It could be like 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then the cutoff proposal is a little bit longer, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, and this would be to get agreement for our umbrella showcase website cutoff and timeline moving forward, so we kind of know what we're working on and doing together. So I think those are the proposed topics.
Time to pause.
No, 5-second pause. Is there anything else that is missing?
I have one question.
Yeah.
And that is just so when I look at line item 18 for that. Oh, you know what? I think I looked at something incorrectly. So okay, so I guess I don't have the same question I thought I had.
Okay,
I'm looking at the overall editing of and review of the website. I'm the sole person dedicated to that, so I don't want to let anything slide. That's all. I'm was wanting.
Well, let's just go ahead and add an additional topic, which would be CCC website, and basically kind of getting on top of next steps for the website. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, so
What about the intake form?
the intake form. I don't know about the intake form. I just don't know. But we can add that as a potential, as a possible other topic. So the CCC intake form or CCC. But overall, the intake form is fine. And when we discussed it with Mel, the issue is not the form. The issue is the presentation of the whole flow. And so that's going to be addressed using the new website, which is going to flow the whole process. And the intake form will be part of that. And we can even break up the intake form into different segments that can be part of the flow. So anyways, I think that particular issue is taken care of with the new Google site.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, I would say we either start with the accounting or the CCC setup and organizing. I would love to get to the cutoff proposal, but I feel like maybe we want to do the at least some of the CCC stuff first, right?
Right.
Well, I would choose one CCC topic. I would say the first CCC topic would be the setup and organizing. Does that sound good, Mel? To do kind of like the overall, make sure.
That sounds good.
Okay, so let's do the CCC setup and organizing, and then address the accounting, or we could do the accounting first really quick and then go into CCC because we'll probably do more CCC afterwards.
Okay.
Do the accounting first, get that over with.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would propose is we start with the accounting for like 5 minutes, and then we do the CCC setup and organizing the overall priorities for CCC, all that. Then we do a quick view up, take a step back, and think of what we want to do next for CCC, and then get to the cutoff proposal after that. That sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay.
So are there any objections to our current proposed topics?
No objections.
Time to take a break.
All right. So we're going to take a 6-minute break, and then when we get back, we're going to get started on our first topic, which is the accounting upfront piece.
Great.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Sounds good.